What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Kickin with Kachi, where we highlight individuals that are really taking the industry by storm. And today, we have the honor, the pleasure, and distinction sitting down with legendary music artists and, dare I say, CEO, brand owner, label owner. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Vice L0ve. Vice L0ve, thank you so
Yeah,
much for coming in and kicking it with me today, brother.
yeah, appreciate you, man. Yeah, sir.
So obviously, we got a lot to talk about, the music, the music videos. You guys can check out my boy on the Instagram, Spotify, the Apple Music, the YouTube, the SoundClouds as well. But I love to go to the beginning of everything and just talk about like the music thing, right? Like not everybody figures out or pursues a passion for music. So how did music sort of become part of your identity, part something that you want to do and add to?
Shit, I want to say like it started say freshman, sophomore year in high school. One of my boys was making beats and whatnot on like
Hmm.
uh, the early ass FL Studio, like FL 8 or 9 or some shit like that. And I started making beats because he was making beats. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna make some beats too. Because I've always like, music ever since I was like 7. I started getting into some shit. But I started making beats, originally. I did that for a few years. I didn't really take it serious at first. And then I started writing songs because one of my boys told me like, yo, you look like a real rapper. Like you sound like one too, all that shit. So,
Right.
that kind of pushed me to keep going and shit. So I kept going with that shit. People always told me they fuck with it. And it's like, at least I didn't have no like yes man around me either. Yeah, at times I did, but then, I had one of my homeboys tell me like I recorded a song and it was like my first auto-tune song. And I showed it
Hmm.
to one of my boys and he listened to the whole thing and then he took the earphones off. He was like, my boy, don't you ever sing on a song. And I was like, I didn't get offended, bro. I didn't even get offended. I
But
was
at
just
least he listened to the whole thing, though.
yeah, most folks ain't gonna give you, they full opinion like that because they scared to.
Right, exactly.
Bro didn't hold back. He told me what was good, and it's like, you know what, bro, I can't even see your ass making a song better or anything. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it just gave me the juice to like keep going because it's like I knew what I was capable of, and nobody else could
Right.
tell me that. If I know if an artist knows when they create something good, you know what I'm saying? So um that's where I was at with it. That's how I started the shit. I just kept going and I learned through people, I learned through YouTube and I also taught other people how to do beats and all that shit. So I mean that's
Right.
just the beginning, Yeah.
So then going to like finding influences and developing your style, right? Because we all know it starts in the notebook, it starts in the notes app, it starts in the brain, but applying the words and the cadence and the flows and the inflections and the pockets to melodies requires a different type of skill and different type of training aside from the writing, right? So what did you sort of listen to, or where did you draw inspiration from to develop your signature sound?
Um so it's like two things I want to say like when it comes to like being inspired, you know, I really liked Kanye West, growing up,
Hmm.
50 Jay-Z, Jada Kiss, uh, Kid Cudi, Travis Scott, like all of them artists, Future, you know,
Right.
that was they're my favorites and shit. They really inspired me, and I also had like a phase with like rock music and all that shit, My
Hmm.
Chemical
I was just
Romance.
about to ask. I was gonna say, like, as you grow as an artist, right? Like, I can even, I'm a graphic designer as well. Like, you kind of find that you have to go out of the thing that's right in front of you if you're ever
Yeah,
gonna truly create some art that you're like, oh yeah, like I'm different. Like I'm
yeah.
adding to something now. So with the rock stuff, like I'm not gonna lie to me, are you still kind of like in that phase a little bit? Like as you're growing as an artist, you're finding that your inspiration is not always primarily gonna be, as black people, right? Like hip hop, trap, R&B. stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's just a part of me, because I grew up on that type of shit. So it's like it's really a part of me. It's something that I like. And I like to draw inspiration, not just from music, but through art and through other people. And the second thing I was gonna say is experiences. Experiences
Hmm.
in life, that's what really inspires my songwriting is like I like to talk about real shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's the experiences I go through in life. It's a way of getting that shit out, you know. Everybody got their way
Right,
of
right.
expressing themselves. And I think that's one way that I express myself, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
And
you
I do
know,
want to speak to that point of uh, 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 sharing your soul, bearing your soul through music, right? Like
yeah.
naming point, right? Your song Gomorrah, right? Let's talk about that song and inspiration behind that, and how you came to the decision to say, you know what, I'm a as a black man in America, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna put it out there in a song. Y'all gonna have to hear this. Y'all have to feel this. Y'all have to resonate with this, empathize or don't. I don't care, but it's coming out. Like what was the process for Gomorrah, and then actually the release, visuals, everything behind it too.
Um that was just kind of showing like I could be versatile. I could, I could rap. I could actually rap, you know. It's more than just wanting to rap and like look cool or whatever. It was like I got a vision for it. So it's like
Hmm.
I want to do something more, I want it to be more than just like service level. I want it to be like I said, like a way of expressing myself. And one thing I'm learning now, is finding my sound because I'm still finding my sound. And is what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Yeah, one thing I'm learning now is finding my sound and being vulnerable, with my music because I feel like that's one thing
Hmm.
that really resonates with people is having something that other people could relate to. You know,
Right.
that's something I'm venturing into right now is learning about myself and how to express myself. You know.
And then now, obviously, we have to get into the elephant in the room. Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
address you. Dead Awake Entertainment, right? Like the
Yeah.
story behind like who are all these other dope people, directors, I believe also designers as well, because you have some album covers that are also created by I think people in the group as well. So how did the idea for this collective come to be, and also explain the whole because I know we got Dead Awake
Yeah.
Entertainment, and then we got Badland Studios, and
Yeah.
then we got the CC Collective over here. So I need to know how all the Avengers and the Teen Titans come to be here.
Well, it was just like the way I came up was like if you want something done, then do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like I taught myself how to produce beats. I taught uh, myself how to engineer my own vocals. I taught myself how to use Photoshop and all that shit. So I started a independent record label, and I got together some people that I saw potential in, and I said, yo, let's do something as a team because you can't really do everything by yourself. So I said, let's do something as a team, and that's how we started. We got into that, and I even designed our own T-shirts and whatnot. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
did the cover arts, did the vocal engineering and all of that shit until it got to a point where it's like I need time to focus on my shit, So
Right, right, right.
I kind of like start focusing on my shit a little more, start pushing my own artistry because I feel like, we owe it to ourselves, not everybody can go do it for you, you know. And that's the type of person I was, just giving, giving, giving. It's like I had to
Right,
learn.
right.
I gotta I gotta take for myself sometimes and do something for myself. So it's like um that's where I ended up with that. So I gotta push my agenda, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And I would say, like, is there like they do say if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together, right? So the idea obviously of like, going with this collective and you're promoting each other's stuff, and that's the going far part. But is there a push and pull, like you said, of like, I'm part of the collective, doing work with the collective, and then also the singular stuff, right? You got to get Vice L0ve stuff out. You got to get your merch, your marketing, your promo, stuff
Yeah,
like that for yourself. Like, is that something that you also are kind of learning as well and trying to make a
definitely,
balance of?
definitely having to find a balance between all of that, because it's like it's all a learning experience at the end of the day. Like, that's just part of it, you know. So I'm still new to the shit, so I'm still learning as I go. I could take what I learn and apply it that way. So yeah, it's finding that balance between everything and prioritizing your time, having a job, and like working with other people and shit. So yeah,
And with the now music, because you just got a new album that just came out, right?
yeah,
Congratulations.
appreciate
Um,
it.
you know what I'm saying? Like, how does it feel is this, how would you classify? Because I feel like albums, I was reading this article, it was talking about even in the growth of hip hop and the growth of music, even the idea of an album and what an album is used for has evolved and grown, right? Like back in the day, if you got picked up, you did a single, then you went for a single, you ran with the single. If that popped, then you got an album deal. Now it's you do your own single. If that's popping, we'll give you an album deal. But then now it's sort of like albums and then mixtapes and these new albums of early stages of people's careers, and then that debut album to when they actually are. So, what is this album for you specifically?
Um, yeah, I understand. Like people do things in like a trendy fashion and whatnot. Everybody has their own way of doing things. I remember the mixtape days. Everybody dropping mixtapes.
Right, right, right.
Um, but I go off of like a feeling,
Mm-hmm.
creating something that means a lot to me. It's like a piece of art. So I put it together like that. And that's how I want it to be listened to. You know what I'm saying? Which I am gonna get more into dropping singles and whatnot, to boost myself. But I like to create a like projects, I guess.
Right, right.
And the last couple projects, Gamora and the wonderful Sick World of Love, I produced
Mm-hmm.
those pretty much entirely myself and engineered those. But every song I do, it just gets better. Every production I do, it just gets better. You know that. 1 second. Hold on.
You're fine. You're fine. Busy man, be busy man. I'm telling you, man.
Sure. Yeah, I'll go there. My bad about that.
No, you're good.
But yeah, like I was just saying, like I like dropping, albums and shit, or like little projects because it's like
Right.
it helps get the idea going, like my vision going, you know. But yeah, it's mostly a feeling when it comes to like creating, releasing music. Shit.
So I would say with the creating the music now, would you prefer the production side of it or being on the actual beat making the vocals?
That's a good question. So I'm pretty much over making my own beats. So.
Hmm.
I rather work with people that are passionate about doing it, about making beats and
Right,
tapping,
right, right, right.
work with those people and creating something new that way. And plus, I'm just figuring out ways to minimize, how much work I have to do so I can just focus on
Yeah.
do. So just kind of simplifying things. And yeah, I do like working with other producers and collaborating with other people. It's just a little more freedom. But I do,
Right.
don't get me
Now,
wrong, like I do like to get behind the production. It's like this is what I want, this is what I want to hear, this is, this is the type of beats I want, type shit. So in that
right, right,
aspect,
right.
I like doing that. No.
And I would ask, like, as a person that comes from having to do everything by himself, right? Mixing, mastering, production, vocals, right? Auto tune sometimes, marketing, everything. And then now going into collectives that are taking pictures for you, doing marketing for you, making beats for you, right? Doing mixer mastering for you. And all you, is that something that is, like I said, is it freeing, or is it a little bit like, ah, dang, like you're kind of a little bit more anxious about choosing who you are. Like you're a lot more intentional about who's around you, because you're like, if it's not up to par, I'm gonna just do it by myself, essentially.
Definitely. Like it adds a little more like seriousness to it. It's like,
Right, right.
you start really thinking like, what is my sound? What am I gonna do as an artist? What are my values and all of that? And what kind of people you want around you and all of that shit. So it's like sometimes you do have to take the lonely route, when people don't see your vision the way you see it. So
Mm-hmm.
um but I
But I
like it
mean, in
though.
that respect, you kind of, yeah, you build your own standard for yourself, kind
Yeah,
of like as you're by yourself, you know what you like, you know how you want to sound, you have a vision for yourself, as you're saying. And if they're
yeah,
not with it, then that just means they haven't met the standard in which you're trying to execute your vision.
yeah, and that's okay. That's okay.
Right, right, right. So now looking forward, right? Like you got a
Yeah.
new album out, right? What are we looking forward to from you in the next few months, the rest half of the year? We in the second half now, or is it 2024 that's going to be the next big rollout that we're going to see?
I'm just working. So I'm just gonna be right now I'm just working on music, working on my sound. I got lots of music unreleased, lots of it. So it's figuring out plans on how I'm gonna release it, what I want to release, how I want to do it. But it's more like I'm gonna be having more singles, music videos, and content going forward. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that's what you can expect from me is more content, more videos, more music in general. Yeah, for sure.
And then if for this new album, right now that you have these new fans that are watching this interview, what three songs from the album should they listen to get the best sense of who you are? Obviously, they should listen to the whole album, but asking you to kind of choose your favorite children here and top three songs that you really think that new fans should listen to from your album.
Definitely Elephant in the Room, Note to You, and I said Glory. Those
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay.
three songs. I definitely give a listen to. But it's gonna be more. My sound is developing and whatnot, so it's gonna be a lot. Good stuff coming through. So new
Hey
sound.
man, like I said, it's everybody loves being that person where it's like, I knew them when they was on SoundCloud. Da, da, da. All you
Yeah,
people watching right now, this is your chance for Vice L0ve to
yeah,
be them first guys to be like, yo, I heard him when he was sounding like this, and now he's sounding like this. Like, you're
yeah.
welcome. Kicking it with Kachi, you're welcome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's gonna sound different, man. Completely different.
Insane.
Yes, sir.
And then now living in New Mexico, right? Like, what sort
Yeah.
of, how does that environment kind of affect the music that you make, or the connections that you try to make, or the influence that you want to have for the music industry?
Um, it's some positives, some negatives. I say I'm more on the negative side. It's like it's a small town, mindset. You know,
Right,
uh,
right, right.
a mindset. Everybody knows each other. It's like a smaller barrel with crabs in it, with a lot more
Hmm.
crabs bringing just people trying to bring you down. And nobody really pushing each other, you know what I mean? Wonder
Right,
when it's
right.
working out. So it's like um in that way there's some limits, it's a little limiting, but you gotta figure out how to maneuver beyond that and network, make connections through social media has been really good. And traveling, that's very important is to get out there. I eventually want to
Right,
move out of this city and to somewhere bigger, like a bigger city, and just kind of get that hustle mindset going, meeting new people, and networking in a bigger way. So that's the goal.
right.
Um, but yeah, it's a small town here, so it's like the music's kind of picking up a little more. People are, there's some talent out here. It's just like I said, it's just like a small bucket with a lot more crabs.
Right, right.
And,
I mean, shit, it just makes the hunger a lot bigger. You know what I'm saying? Just to be like, yo,
that,
I need to get about the barrel so I can tell all the other crabs how to do it too.
yeah, yeah, and just kind of build a
That's
ladder to
fine.
get up out of that.
And
So
that's what I'm saying. And as you're doing with your collective and all the stuff that you're doing with the people that you're connecting with in New Mexico, because honestly speaking, like, me personally, coming from New York City, I don't really hear a lot of artists coming out of New Mexico, right? But I know there has to be somebody. Like I know there's somebody in every single city that's a spitter, a creative, a designer, a photographer, a dancer, every single person in every single city in this world that does that. So
yeah,
like I said, y'all people watching, this is y'all first look at the hottest thing coming out of New Mexico.
yes, seriously, yes, seriously.
If you
Yeah.
get to tell your friends, some fire music from New Mexico, you're welcome. Kicking it with Kachi. I don't aim to please, just aim to serve.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Say that.
Of course. But yeah, of course, my bro. You know what I'm saying? For the last question, talking about New Mexico, right? Like when I go out there, you gotta tell me the top 3 food spots I gotta go to.
Yeah. No, I look.
I
That's
need to know.
that's one of the positive things from out here is like the food is phenomenal because I've been to like LA and shit. And I've been to
Right, right,
other
right.
places, but LA they got hella good seafood, don't get me wrong, all of this shit. But when I came back here, I was just like, man, I miss being here because it's like the food is good, that's
Right,
one
right.
thing. So I say like the frontier restaurant is what I tell people to go to, go to the frontier
Oh,
restaurant.
give me a little steak. Just
Yeah, yeah. Some good
get
ass
get
breakfast, some
into.
green chili. That's what we got. It's like good ass green chili. And
Okay,
then
okay.
there's Bob's Burgers, that's it.
They got an actual place called Bob's Burgers out there?
Yeah,
Oh, I
man.
mean, shit. Okay, all right. I mean, I like the show, so obviously now I gotta go and see the restaurant.
Yeah, no, when you go there, you got to get the taco burger, man. You got to get the
That's
taco
a
burger.
taco burger.
Taco burger, yeah.
How does it? Is it like a burger and a taco, or what is it?
So it's like they get the patty, like the beef patty, and they cut it in half and then put it in a like a corn shell,
Okay,
taco
okay,
shell,
okay.
and then they put cheese and then green chili sauce on it,
Like
and
topping, like topping like a burger. Yeah.
yeah, lettuce, tomato, whatever, and it's killer, man. It's killer. It's good. It's addicting.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Saying,
yeah. I'm gonna need that. Okay. And
yeah.
then what's the third spot?
Third spot, man. Uh, that's a hard one, man. I'd say there's this other burger joint that just closed down because it was in a really bad area, but it was really good food. It was called Griff's. Um,
Damn, man. Where Griff's at? Let me give him some money so he can open it up,
they
man.
had to they in couple of other states, but they was out here for real, and they had some good ass food. It was like I always thought of it as like a better McDonald's, like the quality there,
Right, right,
not
right,
these
right.
burgers and that all smashed and shit. And you go over there,
Right,
like
exactly.
these high quality like burgers, and the French fries are almost like McDonald's fries. They just taste better, and like
Wow.
it's different. It's different. But they had to close it down because they in a spot that's just like right in the middle of the hood. You know what I'm saying? They just stopped getting
That's
business.
fine.
Yeah.
Sheesh, man. All right, that's cool. That's cool. That's like I said. Next time I'm out there, I know where I'm gonna eat at. I know where I'm gonna eat
Oh
at.
yeah,
Thank you.
anytime, bro. Anytime.
But Mr. Vice Love, do you have any last words before we head out of here?
Uh, shit, man. I want to say, do things out of love. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you feel down, feel sad or whatever, like go help somebody out. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that's in need. Um, when you feel like you need to be grateful for something, go help somebody. And it shows you know somebody less fortunate, and shows you what to be grateful for in life and shit. So spread love, you know, that's what I like to say. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And thank you again so much for coming in, kicking with me, brother. This has been an amazing, amazing conversation. Like I said to you guys out there, make sure y'all tap in with my boy Vice L0ve, because he is coming up
Oh yeah,
right
we're
now.
gonna tap
He
in.
is coming up. So make sure you follow my boy Vice L0ve on Instagram at Vice L0ve. That's love with the 0, because he ain't got no love over here, ironically.
Yeah,
On
say less.
Instagram.
Yeah.
On Instagram. You can catch out this interview at the DC Voice on Instagram, YouTube as well, on TikTok. You can follow me at Kachi.the-analyst on Instagram as well. Thank you once again, Vice L0ve, for coming and kicking with my brother. It's been an amazing conversation. You guys can check out this interview, past interviews, and more interviews on the DC Voice. Thank you once again, and we're out of here.
Yes, sir.